Oh, AJ, what have you been up to, mate?
I've been sitting in my garden, Frank.
You've been sitting in your garden?
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't got any work this week. I've taken a week off, and
That's
all
nice.
I've done with it is just sit in my garden.
Brilliant. Well,
That's
it's the kind of weather to do it, isn't it? You know
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're gonna sit in any kind of weather, you may as well sit in this weather, might you?
Yes, exactly. So we went to Southport last night. So me and the good lady went over to Southport with a couple of friends. Had a lovely little walk on the beach. Brody was in his element, running around like a lunatic.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Richard?
Yes.
You bumped into Richard while you were there?
Yes. Very funny.
I know.
Very good. Well done.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've been sitting in the sun. Of course, we've been on our little site visit around Skelmersdale prior to the show.
Yes, we have. We've been...
Which was an interesting one, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I haven't been able to see any of the sights or the sounds of Skelmersdale. Well, not much anyway, with the Asda, the concourse. So actually to look at, you know, places like Glenburn, it's lovely. It's so much potential.
Well, it's not that long back since we set up a poll to ask the question, which piece of land would people like to see the new football ground built on?
Okay. Do you remember the results of that?
I think we had the options of maybe, I don't know.
There was about 4 of them, wasn't
there? I think Blaygate was one of them.
Yeah.
Glenburn would have been the other.
Yeah.
Checker Lane, possibly.
Uh-huh.
Can't remember now, but yeah, there was a few. And I think the feedback was pretty split, although there wasn't that many votes, to be fair.
Okay. So there's a lot of options in Skem. You know, there's a lot of like big pieces of land that are kind of just sitting there with an untapped potential.
Yeah, the most central one, of course, being Glenburn.
Yeah.
Right off the Junction 4, is it, the M58?
Yeah.
So that's really prime land there, but, you know, arguably will end up some of it, if not all of it, being built on. But like I say, it is central. It sits right between Birch Green, Tenhouse, Digmore, and on the opposite side, Old Skem.
Yeah.
So
it's a central hub, if you like.
It is, and like I say, straight off the M58. And probably a lot of people don't know this, but when Cheshire Oaks, or the people that built Cheshire Oaks, were looking around for potential sites to build their designer outlet on, that was one of the sites that they looked at.
Really?
Yeah. Well, and unbelievably, I mean,
What
somebody tells me the story that the people that were involved in it at the time said, no, it's not really for Skem. That might just be urban myth, I don't know. But
what might have been?
Yeah.
Skelmersdale Oaks.
Skelmersdale Oaks, yeah. Well, it's got around to it, that actually.
That could be what the that could be what the new stadium is called, as and when Skelmersdale Oaks.
Yeah.
Honestly, whatever kind of stadium we come up with, if you haven't got a stand built behind the goal that's called the Stormy Corner, then you've missed an absolute trick there. Yeah,
I love the history of Skelmersdale, and particularly when it was, had the old town and proper Sandy Lane, proper shopping street. The word Stormy Corner in itself just sort of bring up all kinds of connotations, don't they? And thoughts. And you can imagine that back in the day there was all old slag heaps around that particular area, old mining area, and all those houses there, the cottages. I think they were the people that worked in the mines actually lived in Stormy Corner.
Yeah.
So it's something that I think I wish somebody would have the foresight eventually to rename one part of Skelmersdale wherever they build, whenever they build on it, and call it Stormy Corner.
Yeah.
And maybe even Glenburn is, even though it's not the original Stormy Corner, it is a corner.
Just keep the history.
Yeah, love the name.
So we need to do that. So there you are. The stand behind the goal called Stormy Corner, and then you've got to call the you've got to call the kind of the social area White Moss Bar. Yeah. Because again, you're playing on the history.
Well, 1882. I know everybody does that these days, don't they? Really.
If we could get in touch with a local brewing company and get the 1882 beer going.
Yeah.
I'm sure people would love to drink that.
I don't know whether the Wayfarers have got a microbrewery, haven't they, called Problem Child? I don't know whether that's still working.
Worth getting in touch.
They have the Problem Child stand.
The problem child stand.
Yeah, with all the kids.
But we'd have loads of people just thinking it's a crash and just drop it off.
Well, just stick all the feral kids in that
That's
stand. That'll suit them.
One of the shipping containers with a couple of holes to breathe out of.
That sounds terrible. I'm sure we'll get complaints if anybody picks up on that one.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
But yeah, looking further afield then, Checker Lane, lovely piece of land.
Yep.
Once again, just centrally in terms of motorways, it's right in between the junction for the M58 and the M6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's right on the bypass. It's right on the dual carriageway through Skem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just one junction off, or two junctions off the M6 as well. So that's quite good for motorway access.
Yeah,
not that would be a requirement with one man and his dog, but it depends on how big you grow, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And
there is still potential for a football club of our stature, still 145 years not out.
Yeah.
You know, this thing is that we would not necessarily be in our town right now, but this still is definitely your club. It was your club 145 years ago when it was born. When it was formed, and it's still your football club now, regardless of where it's playing. The important part is, and it always has been, is to protect that legacy.
Yep.
It's still protected. Yeah. It's still there, and hopefully when it comes back to Skem, it will hit the ground running.
I think so. We're only 6 miles down the road.
Yeah, we're only 6 miles down the road, so we're moving back to closer to Skem again. And I know, speaking to quite a few people, that they've said, listen, we'll definitely be coming back. It was a little bit too far for us, Marine, which I understand. Crosby, difficult to park and quite busy on the day.
Yeah, the term going is a bit of a mooch.
Yeah, a bit of a mooch. So I can
see why they'd want to come back now when we're a bit closer to home. Yeah, and you can get the bus.
Yeah, another. I mentioned it to you before in the car when we were having a nose. The Half Mile Island was once mentioned as a potential football ground. Yeah,
that's just...
but you know what? Given the fact that there was a song invented by supporters called "We All Live in a Land of Roundabouts," it would be really ironic if we started playing on a roundabout. I don't think that would ever happen. I think it's
got to be a hell of a roundabout.
It's logistically, it'd be a nightmare. But you've got that big island, literally doing nothing. Really, is it? It's just a big island, and it could be better utilised for something else.
A couple of overhead bridges. There's your stream of supporters coming in.
Yeah.
Just have a big wide roof on, so it's there's no danger of footballs landing in the middle of the road. Piece of cake.
Or you could turn it into a mini Brands Hatch. So you could actually redirect everything so that particular roundabout becomes a circuit, a race circuit. It could even be a speedway.
There we go.
Yeah, it could be a speedway with a football club in the middle of the... if anybody's out there listening and they've got huge amounts of money...
Monaco Skem.
Yeah, Monaco Skem.
You heard it here first.
What do you think of the idea?
Oh, belting idea.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's crazy what you can think of just off the top of your head.
Yeah, bollocks to Silverstone, just get them all up here to Skem.
Yeah.
Easy days. That's it. Yeah. Got all the sheikhs and the princes coming over here, spending all their money in local pubs in Skem, wagon on horses.
In the tax haven called Skelmersdale. I don't know where it is, but it wasn't there somewhere in and it's written down in the is it the Magna Carta or something like that? I can't. This old and ancient ruling which said that there's a particular part of a land in this country that is a country in its own, but it's never been used as a country. That's
really weird.
in its own. You know, a little bit like
Vatican City.
Vatican City. Yeah. I think we could become Skelmersdale City.
God.
We might have to change our name.
Yeah.
But you know what? Because we're recording earlier, I think we're just more... We're sort of more switched on today.
We're more switched on now. We've got bigger plans for this club because we're going to build a Formula 1 circuit in the town, get a brewery for our name, and then start playing the stadium in the middle of Half Mile Island.
Yeah. We can imagine that.
We're going to take that mayoral election by the storm, aren't we?
Yeah, but you know what? Right round the ground.
Yeah.
So you've got the big circuit. So you've got the Grand Prix circuit.
Yeah.
And then just round the ground, you could have a moat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a moat.
We could have the stand could be castle turret-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that sound good?
Castle turret. Yeah. Figures.
Yeah. With bridges going over to the. You know, it's a little bit like sort of Wembley, isn't it? But with a moat.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. Never
So we can see an idea coming together.
Yeah.
We just need somebody to put this.
We need an architect.
Yeah, we need an architect, but we need a bit, probably a trillionaire.
We do.
Yeah,
that's fine. So if anyone knows any billionaires, trillionaires, etc., get them to give us a call. We are the most ambitious little town of roundabouts ever. The Speaking Frankly football show, Dalton Skelmersdale.
Or the Speaking Frankly Lost Our Minds football show.
Yeah,
Lost the plot.
The Speaking Frankly oligopoly. Yeah, there you go. There's a name.
And listen, we'd have whoever put the racetrack in and the moat and they could buy the rights to Skelmersdale United Football Club.
Could.
Yeah.
We'd be out of the show.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we would, but we wouldn't be taken over by Shirley FC, would we?
Every cloud. Jesus.
So what else have you been up to other than lounging around doing nothing?
Just still looking for a car.
Still looking for a car.
Still
it's important that we mention this again.
Yeah.
Because you've still been unsuccessful. So
I have.
But you've got possibilities now.
Yeah. So I'm going to see one tomorrow in Huyton. It's £1,100. It's a Ford Focus. So all we can do is just keep our fingers crossed. It's got reasonable MOT, a nice little history.
But it's still got wheels?
It has 4 wheels.
Yeah, it has four wheels and an engine.
Yes, it does. Which is a one-up.
Maybe a steering wheel as an extra.
If I'm lucky. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. All I can do is hope.
So how difficult has it been since the rental car's gone back?
I found it all right.
Because you get used to it after a while, I would imagine.
Exactly, yeah.
I wouldn't like to imagine, to be honest with you.
There's a bus stop 20 metres from my front door, so that takes me into Widnes Town and Chorley, which is fine, so I can get to work and I can get to town. There's an Aldi 400 metres up the road, so that's all right as well. So I'm managing all right there. Jamie's finding it a little bit more difficult than I am. Having a car would be much nicer at this point. Yeah.
So the idea of getting a motorised bicycle, that's just sort of.
Well, yeah. Again, I can't really play the Vietnam card for Jamie because she's not really buying into the idea that a motorbike or a bicycle could be used as a people carrier to do kind of weekly shops and all of that stuff on it as well. Yeah. So
you've not quite talked her into that.
She's not buying into it as well as I thought she would.
No, it's a pity that, isn't it? I thought it was a great idea. So have you been doing more cycling?
No, be doing more walking. A lot more walking. Good. Yeah. But cycling, I know I cycled here for the show last week, but that's the only time I've cycled since. Yeah.
Did it take you longer getting back? Because I gave you the different routes. You
did.
seem to enjoy that more.
I did. Yeah. So go down Lees Lane. Yeah. And
it's a lovely road to cycle.
And through Apley Bridge rather than going kind of through Parbold and up Parbold Hill.
It is quite difficult getting up that Apley Lane North, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So what I did was I went through the industrial estate on in Apley Bridge. Yeah. So rather than coming out where the pub is on the left-hand side.
So you went past the garden centre?
Yes, I went past the garden centre and then up to the
M6
roundabout. Yeah, and then up to the M6 roundabout. And because it was quiet, I was able to kind of cross all the roads there and then get home from there. So it took me about 40 minutes.
You wouldn't have missed the helipad on the left-hand side as you're going down.
I did see the helipad.
The heli airport.
The heliport in Apley Bridge.
Heliport, yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Who'd have thought that?
Apley Bridge has a heliport. What the hell is happening there?
I don't know whether anybody lands there, though. I've never seen it. And I've downloaded, what's it called? Flight Radar.
Right.
Bit of a shadow, really, but you know, whenever an aeroplane comes across, so I can see one now going over Scarisbrick.
Okay.
And it's from London, and it's going to Knock Airport, which is Ireland. somewhere in Ireland. I can't remember which part of Ireland, but it's knock.
Right.
So that started out 26 minutes ago, is it? 28 minutes ago?
Sure.
26 minutes ago, and it's got 34 minutes to go. It's just heading over the Liverpool Dublin channel. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just gone over Formby now.
Okay.
Brilliant. Yeah. So it's worthwhile looking at that. But you can also download the boat version of it. So when you want to see which boat is in Liverpool.
Oh, right.
Sometimes I like going down there just to see the big boats when they come in, like the Queen Mary 2 and whatever. I love going down there and the big cruise ships. Yeah,
didn't realise there were big cruise ships stopping off in Liverpool.
Oh yeah, it's a big it's a big terminal for ferries for big cruise ships. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I suppose it makes sense, like particularly for Ireland, but I didn't think it'd go any further than that, to be honest. Like, it had never occurred to me, to be honest. But I suppose any kind of port town would have those kind of opportunities to, for docking expeditions and what have you. Hull was one of them. That's
where the wealth came from, the port.
Yeah.
So the people that settled, the people that utilised the port and made money from it.
Yeah.
They built. I think they were the people that built the lava buildings and whatever.
Bloody hell!
Yeah.
What a bit of history that is.
Quick history lesson on that.
Yeah.
So what was the song about aeroplanes? Oh yeah,
the helipad in Aptley Bridge.
Yeah.
So anyway, it took me 40 minutes. It took me 40 minutes to get home. So I went past the heliport. I also went past Aptley Bridge FC, where we're going to be next week.
Yeah.
Because we've got a game against them. That's going to be exciting. Bugger to park. Got a lot of roadside parking, but you'll never fit into the ground.
Yeah, I'd like to say I could walk, but I'll probably have too much gear in my car to do it.
So. Yeah, you will. So have to get James to do a bit of lugging.
There's a nice little bar on the other side, which used to be called the Water's Edge, but now it's called the Boathouse, I think.
Yeah, which I think is what the actual ground is called as well. Don't think it's called the Boathouse.
No.
Oh, that one. Oh,
on the other side of the canal.
Yeah, so that is called the Boathouse. It leads onto a very nice new build housing estate.
Yeah.
Apparently
Shevington goes into Shevington.
Yeah, it does go into Shevington as well. Yeah, been there. Quite nice.
Elizabeth used to live there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Lovely.
It was lovely going down there because we used to walk.
Yeah, of course.
All the way down to the Lees Lane, onto the canal, all the way up to Aptley Bridge.
Well,
she was on the border, Aptley Bridge, Shevington.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
lovely stuff.
Really nice.
It's a gorgeous place to live. Yeah. Some very affluent houses in Aptley Bridge.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If you lived over there, we could meet up and walk.
We could have done, yeah. Oh, what could have been?
You could have been my fitness guru.
I mean, you could have had anybody being that.
Yeah. Listen, I'm starting to try. The difficulty is everybody thinks in the close season that you do nothing.
Yeah.
And of course, complete opposite.
Oh, yeah. What, we switch the lights off, pull down the shutters, and that's it.
Yeah, it's a lot more.
We probably work harder in the off season than we do in the on season.
Yeah, I feel when we get to the sort of first couple of weeks, the month, once that first month we've got through it, and when we get to September, when we're playing a training at Ormskirk, it's settled then, so it becomes Wednesdays and Saturdays rather than Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays.
Yeah.
It settles down a bit more for me then.
Yeah.
I don't need to lug as much gear around because you don't need the poles and stuff like that, so everybody else can carry everything, and I can maybe have a night off from there and maybe even have a night at the Mecca in Canotty Ash. So that's where I've sort of settled on now, Knotty Ash.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether I mentioned it today, but so the other night, last week, was it?
You went there and won.
Oh yeah, I mentioned it, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I shared the £500. Well,
yes, you did.
Rowena did the exact same thing the other night.
Right.
She shared with the same woman that I shared with the week before. Yeah, what's the odds on that?
So
she won £500.
Yeah.
That's a share it, £250.
Ugh.
Not complaining.
This woman, honestly.
Yeah, whoever she is.
How dare you?
She needs to have a night off next time I go.
Off.
And I'm not going tonight because it's Wednesday when we're recording.
And the football is on.
And I'm going to purposely watch the World Cup tonight.
England versus Argentina.
England. So what do you think our chances are?
Oh, you haven't got a hope in hell.
Do you reckon?
No. Because everybody, FIFA, the Referees Foundation, all of that lot, they all want Messi to win it.
On ability alone, though, do you think we've got potential?
Yeah, of course. But it's not about that. It's about who can get Messi over the line.
Everybody's saying who can keep Messi quiet, and that, Tuchel has talked about...
Dan Burn.
Tuchel has talked about man marking him and all that lot.
Yeah, I've seen too many memes of people just fly kicking each other, and it's standard.
He's still way by his... Well, he's not well by his best, but he's not...
Messi?
Yeah, he's not as good as he was. He can't be at the age he is now.
Well, no, but...
He must have lost pace.
Yeah, of course. There's elements to him.
Not lost the ability.
No, there's elements to him that have slowed down, absolutely. But I think there's still a reason that he's the joint top scorer of the World Cup at this point. And the only people who can realistically get near him now are Kane and Bellingham, because Mbappe went out last night and Haaland went out in the last round. So there's no one else really to stop it at this point.
There is the hope, isn't there, that moment, that penny drop moment, they say, don't they, players, when they go into a particular match and all of a sudden they realise their legs have gone. I'm just hoping Messi's go tonight.
If they don't go, then Dan Burn will probably ensure that they do. Clattering in within the first minute. Do you remember that scene in Mike Bassett, England manager, when it's like the first day, it's the first game that they're playing, and it shows an England player going for the ball, completely missing it, taking out the man, and he smashes him into some advertising hoardings. And Mike Bassett says, "That's a great shout, referee. Nothing wrong with that. Good tackle." That's Dan Burn on Lionel Messi within like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, is it worth getting sent off for them? Well, you'd have to make sure he's out of the game, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. You'd want to fall.
You're not allowed to say that, are you, though?
No, because it's Messi. Yeah. I'll be having like Argentinian authorities come doing a reverse Falkland Islands and coming invading us, invading Scam.
The hand of God is still mentioned, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I saw the Cape Verde game.
Yeah.
I saw the Egypt game.
Yeah, but did you see the Diego Maradona game?
No, I wasn't born then.
Yeah, but when we're talking about the hand of God, and that's when he handled the ball.
It is.
Clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. And
we
think
need to avenge that, don't we? I mean, I think the same could easily be applied to. I think if Messi gets an opportunity, or if Argentina get an opportunity to just cheat their way a little bit, it'll get given. Do you think Bellingham or Harry Kane could recreate that scene and the goal is given? It'd be really good, wouldn't it, if they could?
Mike Bassett, England manager, did the same thing. Yeah, exactly. But there's just too much technology. Now, you'd never get away with it in a million years.
No.
The last time I saw it happen was like about 2000.
Well, we didn't have VAR then, did we?
No, we didn't.
You're dead right. You could never.
Could never get away with it.
But then you look at some of the decisions that they have made, and even when they've looked at VAR, and you still can't quite understand them.
Yeah. No, I know.
I'm just trying to think.
The Balogun one, the USA player who was sent off and then that got reprieved. Yeah. No way that should happen.
Did Trump threaten to close down the World Cup or something?
Oh, probably. Well, he says that he asked UEFA to look into it. FIFA to look into it.
Yeah.
And
we don't think he did. We don't think FIFA would have taken any notice of him.
Oh no, I think
because they arguably, if you listen to people, allegedly, both organisations are corrupt. Allegedly.
Yeah.
I could be banned, signed out from football. Couldn't I, for saying that?
Yeah, me too.
All right.
We'll have to.
We didn't say that.
We'll have to investigate.
That was something that we read. That's why we said allegedly, because we haven't got a clue at all.
No, not at
whether all. FIFA are bent, corrupt.
I think you should get on the phone to the Skelmersdale and Dalton Cricket Club now and tell them that they've got new investors. we cannot stay within football now.
No, we're knackered now, aren't we?
That's it.
So did you watch the... everybody expected France to win last night, and of course they didn't.
No, they didn't. And
Spain were good value.
It's a perfect shutout.
France didn't turn up, did they? The France that
it's not. No. So I'll tell you what it was.
They closed them down, didn't
Spain completely dominated that midfield.
Yeah.
France played a I think they played 4-3-3, which is kind of typical of what they do. But Spain were just on them in the middle of the park, so you've got no kind of strings out to the wings to players like Barcola or Elise, players like that. And Mbappe had very little service as well. So, I think Spain was certainly good value for their defensive opportunities, but then they took their attacks, when they could. I know that they had one from the penalty spot, which was Oyarzabal, who scored it, and then they added a second one later on, which was Pedro Porro. So they were good value for it, and I really didn't think that I'd see them in the final, but they're there. And honestly, I think it'll be Argentina to join them.
Right. Well, let's assume that Keir Starmer bungs whatever federation needs to be bunged.
Yeah.
VAR, FIFA, the Federation of Referees, or whatever.
Well, you do know the allocated referee is one who Messi has a 100% win rate when that ref has been in place.
You're joking, aren't you? That's not what I wanted to hear.
I know. I'm sorry, mate.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So, okay, assuming that we can win it. I don't know why you're laughing, but assuming that we can win it, can we win the final against Spain? Have we got a better chance to win the World Cup playing Spain than we have against France, had France won?
No. I don't think you're any better. I think England were better 2 years ago than what they are now. I think you've been carried through by the individual performances of players like Bellingham and Kane.
Yeah, but Bellingham's not always turned up. He has in this World Cup, hasn't he?
Yeah.
In this championship, but he's not always been...
No, but in the last one, you had more players who were, sort of better equipped to do things. You had Cole Palmer in there. Obviously, Kane was an absolute standout. You had what's his bananas? I mean, defensively speaking as well, you had. Did you have Harry Maguire at that point? Probably not. But there was more individual players 2 years ago that could take the game by the scruff of the neck. Haven't really got that now. And I think to make it to the semi-final as you have done, playing poor football, I think you get found out eventually. And I honestly think tonight will be that night.
Mm. But when you look at past teams and you talk about the Terry Butchers, maybe the John Terrys of the world, and that we've had some really good solid teams with really, really great individuals.
Yeah.
Gary Lineker's,
yeah.
Out and out goal scorers, the Wayne Rooneys, and we've still not done anything there.
No.
We've still never been able to achieve anything with that.
Not really, no. So you think about the last time England had a really good tournament where it went well from start to finish. When exactly can you kind of pinpoint that? Maybe the World Cup in 2018, semi-finals? World Cup 2022.
But don't forget, when England won the World Cup, they didn't particularly play well.
No.
Until the final, really.
I think the semi-final they did, because that was against Portugal, and that was when they had prime Eusebio.
Mm.
Obviously a very, very difficult man to stop.
Of course, I wasn't born then either, you know what I mean? So I can't...
You were not.
Comment on it. I've watched bits and pieces of it. I've never watched it fully, all the way through it. I feel as though I should do at some stage, because it's...
What, the full final?
Yeah, I should watch it, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just to give to get a better understanding of it.
I mean, you kind of got away with it at VAR back in '66, because I'm absolutely convinced that Jeff Hurst's second goal didn't cross the line.
No,
or in the same. Nah.
It's been debated for decades now, hasn't it? And
it has.
It depends which technology you lean towards, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think I'll predict it now. Right, we're going to beat Argentina 3-1 tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. And the final week on Saturday, or this Saturday?
This Saturday.
Is it this Saturday?
Pretty sure it's this Saturday.
Right, okay. Spain 4-0.
Spain are going to win 4-0.
No, we're gonna win 4-0.
That is a very.
We're gonna score 2 quick goals within the first 15 minutes. Then we're gonna score one before, just on the stroke of half time, and then just on the stroke of just after half time, after the interval, we're gonna score in the second half. and then we're just going to sing our way to the presentation.
Right. That's a lofty way of looking at things, Franklin.
And it's probably a good point to get on with the show, really, isn't it? Because I've definitely lost the plot.
We have, haven't we?
But if I'm right, you've heard it here first.
I don't know how right you are.
And you might be calling me Nostradamus Frank.
Say what now?
Nostradamus Frank.
Sure.
Yeah. Does that ever rhyme to it?
No.
No? Well, listen, if I'm right, you'll be asking me for the lottery numbers next.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So what did I say? 3-1?
3-1 tonight and then 4-0 in the final.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going for it.
2-0 Argentina.
Before I get taken away in the little white van.
There you go.
Okay, we'll get on with the show.
Yep.
Hello and welcome to the Speaking Frankly Football Show. I'm Frank Hughes, the chairman of Skelmersdale United Football Club, and alongside me is my co-host and passionate press officer AJ Vidget. Not that being involved in the football club is a prerequisite for hosting a football podcast, but it certainly helps. We are ready to dive headfirst into the vibrant world of non-league football in the Northwest, and we might even take a moment to discuss some of the bigger headlines in the sport. We'll explore life in the Northwest counties, bring you interviews with well-known faces in the league, and analyse how local teams are performing while making bold predictions for their upcoming matches. Nothing is off the limits here. We'll be diving into all kinds of topics, including complicated refereeing decisions and regulations that often leave fans perplexed. We want to hear from you too. This is your show, so don't hesitate to reach out with topics you want us to tackle. Let's get this conversation started and enjoy every single moment. We are speaking frankly. Hello and welcome to the Speaking Frankly Football Show. This is Season 3, Episode 3. A very, very warm welcome to my co-host AJ Vidget.
Hello Frank, hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the show in scalding Skelmersdale, where we are recording from, or delightful Dalton, whichever one takes your fancy here. So on the show today we're going to do a little bit of a roundup of the friendlies, where we've seen some good, some bad, some argy-bargies. We'll run a profile on FC St Helens and how they are building towards the new season on and off the pitch. We'll have a look at other teams like Atherton LR, Widnes Town, other teams that have played through the week as well. And then we will talk about grassroots playing costs as well. And then we'll move on to Scam as well. We'll talk about how we've gotten on over the week, and then we'll run over some fixtures and friendlies that are coming over throughout this weekend, and then we'll finish on a little bit of a funny one, which is Britain's rudest sounding football clubs. So Frank, where are we starting first?
Well, don't forget, there's a few controversial issues mixed into the show as well as per usual. So we'll be looking at that as well. But yeah, listen, we're going to start off with FC St Helens. I thought it was a good point to start at because they've had a really, really busy, close season, haven't they, so far?
Yeah, a few bits have happened. So the chairman, Steve Leather, he stepped down and Paul Oakes took over. We knew that FC had managed to gain promotion to the county's Premier Division in 2023 on a humble budget, and then managed to hold their own at higher level, finishing in the top 10 in successive seasons since. A very organised and well-drilled football club with a great manager in Mike Smith. Now, Darren Davies has joined the club as a lead analyst, having worked for Bury in the Northern Premier League, and is also good mates with Mike Smith, them having worked together at Warrington Rylands. Now we're seeing this a little bit more and more clubs at non-league level are bringing analysts to their backroom staff. Obviously we've had one on the show, Chris Watts, who was the analyst at Bury FC. So are analysts a major front point of the future, the same way directors of football were as well? What do we think?
Well, I think we mentioned it before. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I would imagine at that level, there's probably very little budget in it for anyone, but it's probably something that if you were, I don't know, doing working for the, what's it called now, the Etihad?
Oh yeah, the University of Football.
University of Football. It's probably something that you could do as a bit of practical work to get hands-on experience to work your way up the ladder. I think it's all very well and good. Very, very difficult to analyse your opposition, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You'd need a lot of VO footage. You'd need a lot of actually going down to games and watching how they play and analysing it from a bit of a distance. All of which is quite tough. You've got very little YouTube. You don't have Sky Sports to kind of help you, so you kind of have to do it all off your own back, really. So you kind of have to have no prior commitments either, no family, no hobbies, just pure football from noon until night.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure if you go old school, a lot of managers, when they have the opportunity, used to go and watch the opposition when they could during the midweek, or you used to send your assistant manager along to go and have a look at them as well. So it's just an extension of that, really, isn't it? And I think in terms of people bringing that information back to you, it's also, what would you call it, the words for it, in terms of sort of your view as an analyst might be a different view to what it would be if a manager went along himself. So it's an opinion-based analysm as well as anything else, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I think most analyst is. I think there's opinions to be based. In the analysis of football. What you see as a great pass, I could think of as a piece of absolute Hollywood play, and there's no need for it at all. Having analysts there, I think, is certainly advantageous if you've got somebody who's able to commit the maximum amount of hours needed to do it. Otherwise, I think you're just running down a bit of a rabbit hole with it. But could it be that with all these organisation going on off the pitch, that FC St Helens are a surprise package for promotion to the Northern Premier League?
Look at that. So when we were looking at our predictions, let's get back to the predictions again.
I don't think either of us had them in, did we?
Yeah, I did. I had them in the top 5.
Okay.
So you had Atherton LR, Earlham, Prestwich and Charnock. I've got Atherton LR, FC St Helens, Ramsbottom and Prestwich. But listen, we'll go further into detail, obviously, with what we've witnessed with these new signings. But so we mentioned that Steve Leather has stepped down.
We have, yes.
We've mentioned that, and Paul Oakes has took over. There could be a surprise package. But listen, they've recently signed former professional footballer and centre forward David Ball. I don't know whether you knew that.
I was aware, though he made a big noise about it on social media, as I'm sure is to be expected. Yeah,
so he started out his career at Manchester City, but didn't quite break through from the reserves. He went on to have a decent career in the Football League. He played 179 games for Fleetwood Town during a 5-year spell, where he scored 41 goals. He spent last season at Radcliffe. We know they made a plethora of signings in the close season, but this one stands out, despite the fact that David is now 36 years of age.
Oh, age is just a number at this level.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Now, because we had this conversation about whether you should announce signings before you've actually signed them. So in the script, FC St Helens confirmed that last season's goal of the year winner, Owen Collins, has departed the club to re-sign for Ramsbottom United. Liam Bott and Darren Branningham, Mike Beto and keeper Joe Mason departed the club back in June. But they've retained a plethora of really impressive players.
Yeah, they have.
Ethan Jones, Chris Hill, Jack Ball, Tom Scarborough, Jamie Whittaker, Ethan Van Aston, Louis Sharp, Joe Barrett, Ryan Smith, Tom Lawless, Harry Hagan, Kenzie O'Neill, Ollie Bro from Remy, Ismail Sonko from Vauxhall, Tom McNamara, Ryan Sinnott, John Dunlop, Joe Parker, Dom Hop, and also joining the club, Daniel Lowy from Lower Breck, Luke Barron from Prestwich Chase, and Paddy Kay from Lower Breck as well. So listen, the one that really stands out for me is Luke Barron, who played for Scam for a short period a few seasons ago. I think he's an absolutely cracking player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, led the line really well last year for the Hayes, and obviously come back to kind of closer roots, if you like. He's got a little bit of a battle on his hands because Messrs McNamara and Lawless were on fine goal scoring form for the Stripes last season, and then also to have David Ball in there as well. That's a lot of competition to force your way into the starting 11 there. So,
do we know what position Luke was playing at Prestwich Years? Was he playing on the wing, number 10, or was he a sit?
I think he was the centre forward.
Yeah,
I think he was. Yeah,
because when he played for us, he played on the left-hand wing.
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I like him. Not seen so much of him recently, but he looks the business, and he's got a few years to his credit now. He's still a relatively young player.
Yeah,
I don't know about some of these other signings or the retained players, whether they've are aging. I don't know.
Not a clue.
Luke could be a replacement for one of them. So listen, Connor Robson's also signed for the club. The 22-year-old former Tranmere Rovers goalkeeper had a recent break from football, but has signed for the Stripes.
Yeah, so there's your natural go-to replacement for Joe Mason, isn't it?
Yeah. You'd imagine so. Yeah. But
yeah,
he's
absolutely.
been out of football since September last year, so
that's all right.
That's a bit of a gap.
It is, yeah, but if ever anyone has a gap, there's always there's always a spot to fill somewhere on the team.
Apparently, he's got a really impressive coaching skill, hasn't he? And that's why he sort of took his eye off the football for a bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Concentrate on that.
That's fair. You've got to juggle both things, but if he's as good as what his CV says, Tranmere could be a really decent signing for the Stripes. Yeah.
So FC St Helens, they beat McGull 2-0 on Tuesday night.
Yep.
They beat 1874 Northwich 3-0 in their opening friendly. Followed that up with a 6-1 win over Hesketh Bank, and on Saturday, a 5-5 draw against Ashton Town.
I mean, that's pretty good going, that is. So some good results there, and as much as anything else, there's a lot of miles in the legs now for these players. They're sort of suitably warmed up, ready for the season, and there's some, like I say, 1874 Northwich winning 3-0, great result for them. 5-5 against Ashton Town.
Yeah, because one's in the lower division.
Yeah.
But then, you know what, they play mixture of trialists, as we know. They have retained a lot of their reserves as well. So you wonder whether some of those reserves have been given an opportunity to impress.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm really, really impressed with the club and the way it's been run right now. They started a new YouTube channel inside FC St Helens, and their social media presence is really to be admired.
Yep.
They've also got a separate podcast, FC TV, as well. I'm a regular watcher of that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I know I was recently berated for criticising clubs announcing signings before the registration forms are being printed, but you can clearly see what the club has been trying to achieve, and to be honest, their approach is second to none in the counties right now, if not, way above that at the moment. So manager Mike Smith and I had a disagreement over the retained status, but as he quite rightly put it, you can sign a player and another club can still put 7 days notice in on him anyway, so there's no harm in announcing agreements, as he said.
Yeah, alright, fine.
But you know what? I mean, looking at the players that he's signed and retained, nobody's taking them away at the moment. You seem to be building something special here.
I think they are. Yeah.
We know there's other things going on. They've got another piece of land that they're trying to develop as well for their junior sections.
Yeah.
And the ladies team as well. I don't know, but there's a lot going on, and it looks all really positive.
If only it was that easy to grab a piece of land in Scam, eh?
Well, you know the story, don't you? Because we had Steve Leather on the previous chairman on, and he said literally that he was ground sharing with the cricket club, and one day the cricket club owner decided just to hand him the keys and said, "Listen, it's yours."
Unbelievable.
Listen, we know that cricket is not as popular as it used to be. So
listen,
if anybody at Skelmersdale and Dalton Cricket Club is listening, they want to hand the keys over, we'll gladly accept.
Yeah. Please.
Not that we'd like to lord it over the fact that a cricket club has gone to the wall, because there's too many of them doing so.
Yes, there are.
Speaking to a lot of people recently, and they say the same thing. I mentioned it in one of my articles. There's not many people that can commit to 5-hour days on a Saturday and Sunday watching cricket or playing and participating in it. So you can understand why cricket is going to the wall quick.
Yeah, of course it is. And it's an expensive sport as well when you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, the balls, the bats, the helmets, the pads, you know, the uniforms, the shoes, everything like that. It just costs a hell of a lot. And, you know, I went to watch my local cricket club once.
Do you like cricket?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I really enjoy watching cricket. I mean, I watch most sports other than like snooker and darts and things like that. But cricket I really enjoy.
You don't watch darts? Oh, I love darts.
Do you?
Snooker's boring, but I love darts. I find cricket, and I don't know whether, you know, the 2020 is a little bit different, isn't it? Because that's faster.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
I like the one-day cricket.
The one day is, I like the tests. I really do. The ones that go on for like 5 days, because I like
when you can see after the first day, when you can see where the result is going.
But even then, you're not entirely sure, particularly with England recently. But I really like to. It's my go-to when I've got like something to do in the garden. Yeah. Or like something that's like I have to do by myself for like a long period of time. So I listen to the cricket going on whilst, you know, I had every intention a few weeks ago of, you know, grouting the driveway, getting rid of all the weeds and stuff like that. So I plugged my headphones in at precisely 11 o'clock for the England test against New Zealand. And within half an hour, 4 of the England batsmen had been dismissed, and then they were all out by 1:30.
That's what it becomes a little bit more predictable then, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I went to watch my local cricket club. I didn't have to pay to get in. It was absolutely fine.
Standish has got a cricket club?
Yes, it does. Yeah. And when I got there, Standish had been dismissed for 44, all out. Yeah. And it took a while for the changeover, you know, lunch and snacks and all that carry on. So I bought myself a beer and a chocolate bar, and I sat down on one of the lunch tables. Then they all came out, started playing, and the opposition...
Did you have a pint as well?
Yeah, and the opposition had won in 34 minutes.
Crikey, yeah.
What a frigging waste that was.
It's just as well you didn't pay for it, isn't it?
Well, I didn't pay for entry, I had to pay for the beer. But,
Yeah. I mean, going back years ago, I used to sit there. I used to go to Southport Cricket Club and used to watch the cricket there. I always found it really good for, you know, for one to never sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always found it really good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think cricket's a great sport, but I can see why it's a bit of a dying industry at grassroots level.
What's the saying? What was the commentator used to say? The sound of the ball hitting the, is it willow? What is it?
Wicket?
No. You know the bat. What's the name they used to call it? There's a name for it. I don't know whether it was the war dog. The sound of the.
If you say so. Yeah.
The sound of the ball.
The baton ball
coming off the bat.
Yeah.
It was quite therapeutic.
It can be, yeah.
I just can't remember what it was called anyway. Anyway, listen, going back to FC St Helens before we round it off, a little known fact is their skipper, Harry Hagan, played alongside Jude Bellingham in the England under-16s back in 2018. But you didn't know that, did you?
I did not, no.
But now you do.
Yes, you do.
Anyway, moving quickly on to Atherton LR. Not a great deal of news to report other than David Jones's team seemed to be shaping up well. They had a 3-0 win over Widnes Town on Tuesday night, following their 1-1 draw over Southport over the weekend. So, looking at our predictions.
I mean, they're facing the bigger teams now, aren't they? Warrington Town, Southport. Yeah. You know, I think they have a lot of teams that they've got in their fixture list who... are, you know, higher up in the league.
They're pitting themselves against the decent teams, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And I have to wonder whether they're playing on some kind of preparation for going one step further this year. You'd naturally think that's
another fantastic setup, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah. We've long since, waxed lyrical about Atherton LR and how well they are run, how well they're doing.
Sean Lynch, brilliant chairman as well.
Yeah,
we've had him on the show as well, haven't we?
We have actually. Yeah, that was a really good one. But so they've played Warrington Town. Yeah, as you say, they've played Southport. They've played. Oh God, who else have they played? Just trying to find.
Anyway, they're shaping up well, like I've said.
Yeah, they are.
And we've got both predicted them to finish in the top 4. Top 5.
They played Rami as well.
We've got them as runners up. Both of us have got them as runners up.
Pretty much, yeah. I think they could go one step further this year. They've signed a couple of players, not an awful lot, but they've retained an enormous amount of their squad from last season.
So, given the fact that you haven't got FC St Helens, because we just want to go back to them briefly, you haven't got them in your top 5. Does looking at what we've discussed now, does that change your opinion a little bit? Because we did say the week before we've got an option to change our predictions. I mean, I've definitely got them in the top 5.
Yeah, I'm not convinced just yet.
No?
Not convinced just yet.
Well, anyway, listen. Moving on to Widnes Town. They drew 2-2 at the Butcher's Arms on Tuesday night. They had the lead, 2-0 lead at half-time. With only 16 players and a very young bench, Paul McNally didn't have the luxury of wholesale changes, as Droylsden did, but overall he was pleased with the effort.
Yeah, you can see why. It takes time for a team to gel when they're just building up. Yeah. We know Droylsden, very established team. A lot of players have played there for a number of years. Their cohesion is evident. Whereas Widnes Town can probably come away with that. That they've got a bit of a decent foundation to build on. Got a good squad in place, some good individual players. So yeah, I honestly feel like this is the start of something pretty good.
Do we think they've got a decent budget? Because they've got some seasoned players there like Grogan and Corliss.
And Corliss is a very good player, isn't
it? Yeah. Did you see the free kick he scored against Droylsden last night?
No, I didn't.
That was exceptional.
Was it?
Yeah.
For that.
It's on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll go have a look for it. I'd say they've still got a decent budget. I think they have to be because they're still ground sharing at DCBL, aren't they? The rugby ground.
Yeah, but it's getting dug up, isn't it? And they're going over to Marine for a period of time.
Yeah,
I don't know how long.
Yeah.
Both of those takes about 3 weeks, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, both of those are costly places to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't. I think there'll still be a budget. I think there'll still be a budget there to afford some level of quality that matches the kind of ambition that this team have got.
I know they were a little bit disappointed because they were thrown into the Southern League, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah, but
do you think that bodes well for them, really? Because do you think they've got more of a chance of winning that league outright?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say kind of depending on how certain teams within that Southern Division kind of prepare. And given the fact that there are a couple of... Asheville would have been one that I would have looked at this year if they'd been in there, but they're not. They've been moved over to the north, and I don't know enough about the teams that have replaced them. So I think this could bode well for them. It'll be a bit more travelling, yeah, but I still think they'll certainly challenge for promotion through the playoffs, if not kind of lead it outright.
Well, we can't read too much into it because Droylsden did play basically 2 teams, different team in the second half. But like Paul McNally said in his interview, that he had a very youthful bench. He didn't have the numbers to play a different team. And by all accounts, I think Hayden Bedford, who used to play for us, was on the bench as well.
Oh, was he now?
I'm assuming it was him.
Right, okay, so thinks he's ready for Widnes then, does he? All right, kid.
Yeah. So where do we think? Where did we say we were going to finish? Let's have a nose.
I think both of us put them in top 5.
The top 5, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know who we said we're going to win it, but that's Division 1. Yeah, we both went for Widnes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we didn't sort of... You know what? The only difference between yours and mine is...
I went for Market Drayton, didn't I?
You went for Market Drayton. I went for New Mills and Stafford. You went for Sandbach.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I stand by that. I stand by Stafford, at least. Yeah. Market Drayton is a bit of a dark horse, but like I say, they've made a heck of a lot of signings. They're doing a lot of turnover of squad, and you can understand why.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of new sponsors coming in as well. So I honestly think one of them's called Mr. Logs, which just sounds like Mr. Logs.
Logs?
Yeah.
As in log on?
As in kindling and firewood.
Oh, right.
But just makes me sound like some kind of...
Oh, well, we'll cut to the rude names later. But
yeah, exactly.
But listen,
but anyway,
so we're still sticking with that. We think they're going to be the Division 1 South winners. Mm-hmm. Moving on to the North West Counties Division 1 North, briefly. Newcomers AFC Knowsley lost narrowly to ASC Liverpool on Tuesday night 3-2. Mm-hmm. Listen, don't know a great deal about them other than David Platt is the manager. I think they might have...
David Platt?
Platt, as in Platt or Platt, yeah.
As in that David Platt?
No, it's not the same David Platt. No.
Hey, we've got John Barnes.
I think he interviewed for the Scam job once, and I think they had a joint management team there. I don't know whether it's still a joint management team now. But you know what? I think I need to look at my predictions again now. But I think they could be
a bit of a surprise package.
They could be one of the dark horses. So
are they in South? Or they're in North, aren't they? So
you've actually got AFC Knowsley as one of your dark horses.
All right, there we go then.
I haven't.
No.
But
all right.
I think they could.
Yeah. Be
interesting to see.
Yeah,
nice little setup there. If you've ever been, did you go to the pre-season friendly last season? I don't think you did.
No, I don't think I did.
Nice little setup. Needs a bit of work.
Who did we play in Nick's first game?
That was Nick's first game, yeah, AFC Knowsley.
Right, I have been
there.
You
were there, weren't you?
Yes, I was. Yeah. Like, loads of people were there. Like, John Foote was there, and Martin Stewart. Yeah. There was a lot.
I can see a lot of games getting called off there, though, can you?
Yeah, it's a grass pitch. Yeah, so there's still a lot of work that needs to be done.
But it's got great potential, hasn't it?
Of course it has.
Lovely. And their sponsor?
Monterex.
Monterex?
Yeah.
That's sounds like a good deal. I'm assuming it is, and it will probably be something that grows
exponentially.
Yeah, when they move up the ladder, and who knows, they might just do it this season. Yeah. They might be one of them dark horses, and I might change my opinion because the week before we've got that little caveat where we can change.
So is it after 6 games we can review? I
don't know. What did we say?
I thought it was 6 games.
I'll have to listen to the show again.
Fine.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to Clitheroe.
Yeah.
Off the back of a 1-0 home defeat to Morecambe on Tuesday night, manager Sean McConville was not only impressed with the efforts his players put in, he seems to be overall confident about the season ahead. He said he's
okay with it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's okay with what he's seen so far, but still actively in the market for new players.
Yeah, of course.
But insisted that they have to be better than what he's got so far.
Yeah, reasonable.
441 people watched that game. They drew last weekend, 12 o'clock kickoff, I think it was, against Bury, in front of a crowd of 476. So the people of Clitheroe are still coming out to watch them. That's not bad for pre-season friendlies.
No, it's not. No, obviously,
I expected a little bit more for the Morecambe game, but being a Tuesday night, and of course, a lot of people would have stayed in to watch the France-Spain game as well.
Yeah, you can understand that one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I'd probably go and watch non-league football rather than watching Spain and France, but that's just me.
Well, I went to training last night and managed to catch the second half. So you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, we're going to go to controversial corner very quickly, really, for us. We're absolutely motoring through like the Grand Prix course in the Half-Mile Island in Skebia. So Prescot Cables friendly this week against Crewe, that was last night, was called off as the visitors deemed the pitch unsafe to play on. Looking at the pitches, they have a point, but the club weren't happy as they thought it was playable. Talking about Prescot, of course.
Yeah.
Crewe are a full-time club, and as such they have a duty of care towards their professional players.
Yes.
I do feel sorry for Prescot, who no doubt expected a decent gate and would have lost a fair amount of money due to loss of bar taking, catering, and, like I say, of course, gate receipts as well.
Yeah.
But you have to see it from Crewe's perspective. Ankle rolls and impact injuries aren't good. Well, they're not good at any time, but even worse at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, of course they are. Of course they have a duty of care to players for whom this is their livelihood. And I suppose Prescot, I don't know, do you reckon there's a little bit of irresponsibility there in thinking that the game could go ahead on a surface that hasn't really been watered for the better part of 10 days?
Well, the difficulty is, at the level that they play, they probably expect, and probably have been to pitches just as poorly watered as that. And I can only go back to Stormy Corner, and I think we either reseeded or returfed. I think we reseeded, so I think we cut the top surface off, inch or two, whatever, and then we reseeded. And during that summer, it was a particularly hot summer, we had to water that pitch morning, noon and night. Yeah. And it cost us around about £6,000 in the end.
Whoa, all right.
The water bill just for that particular...
So, to be fair to the Cables, what they've advised is that they... it was tended to by volunteers, so they've kept on top of the pitch condition as best as they can, obviously with no kind of inbuilt sprinkler system. So fair play to the Cables if they felt that it was playable, because obviously this kind of thing is clearly a matter of opinion, isn't it? One team says that it's playable.
Arguably, like a lot of people have said, there might be a certain amount of snobbery attached to this, but you do have to respect the fact that Crewe Alexandra's players are fully fledged professionals, and you've got to carry on paying them when they're injured.
Yeah, you do.
There's no caveats or get out clauses for them
contracts.
As in non-league football.
Yeah, no, I get that. Sort of from Cable's perspective, they'll have lost money on the gate and the bar as well as actually having a professional team come and play against them. That's a really good kind of social event on their calendar, isn't it? It's a shame that it couldn't happen.
Who have they got on this? Is it this Saturday or next Saturday or Tuesday? They've got another full-time professional football club coming down, haven't they? Or is it Morecambe? Yeah. Could be Morecambe they're playing next.
I'm not sure. I haven't really got an indication of anything beyond.
The only thing I would say is that Prescot Cables back in the day when Skem were ground sharing there, I think they had a professional groundsman. Paul, his name was, and he was the groundsman at Southport for a period of time. I don't know whether he's still there. Or he's retired or moved on and done something else. But it's very difficult when you've got volunteers, as we say.
Right. It's they've got a Blackburn Rovers 11 this Saturday. Okay, so that could make them a decent bit of wonga. At the club, you would certainly hope so. Anyway, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really. I can understand from Crewe's point that they've got a duty of care towards their players. I can understand that Prescot, having looked over that pitch for the entirety of the week to make sure that it was in good working nick, will feel like it was in good working nick and should have been played on. It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is tough because, like you mentioned there, the volunteers, the people, the ground staff, whoever's looking after it, it is a costly expense to water a pitch unless you get the fire brigade there to hose it down. And, through the fire hydrant, fire hydrant when they're practicing. Occasionally you can get them down, but you can't get them down every week.
No, of course not.
But that would be the ideal scenario.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Or an irrigation system there where you can replenish the water once it goes back into the sump or whatever it is. It can be regurgitated. Not the word for it I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. Recycled. Yeah. It can be recycled and be used again.
Rotivated.
Rotivated.
Yes.
Well, it's not rotivated. It's recycled. Rotivated is when you get a whatchamacallit and you dig
the soil up, yeah. Chuck it about a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm not
freshen it all up.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the water going through the grass and being collected and recycled again.
Yeah, you can rotivate that.
Right, okay. So promenade.
Exactly.
Rotivate. Anyway, let's moving on to Widnes Town versus Olsen. Now, we've already talked about this, but the game was abandoned at half time. We shouldn't really laugh when Olsen refused to come back on the pitch following a huge disturbance on the pitch.
A disturbance? Yeah, that's one word for it.
What would you call it? Huge fight.
Yeah.
So there was a pile-on, and allegedly, I say allegedly, some photos show an attack on Alty's Charlie Olsen.
Yeah.
A quote on social media alleges a Cantona style kung fu kick. Again, teams leaving pitch. Wythy Town player getting told off by his family, his mum, in brackets. We've seen a picture there of a mum. Listen, is this AI doing its rounds
I don't think so.
Is that definitely his mother?
Yeah, the shadows sort of the setup.
I think there might be a little bit of mischief making there, but if it is,
that's a belter. That one.
Good on it. Good on his.
On his mum for setting the standard of how to play and how to actually just be a sportsman there, because that's a stinker if that one has actually happened.
But listen, on a more serious note, there might be video evidence of these events, so this could really lead to severe reprimands. And if you look at what Cantona 10-month ban did he get?
Yes, he did. Substantial
fine. I don't know what they'd throw at a non-league player in a match that is largely unstewarded, and with no. If the police had been there, would the police have taken action and charged him for assault? I would imagine they would have done.
Yeah, I think so.
And listen, I would imagine he's still likely or could be. He could be charged for an attack if Charlie Olsen decides to
press
charges.
Yeah,
it's quite an unsavoury event. There's a pile in. I don't know what's happened. They reckon there was a little bit of shouting and screaming going on between the two management teams on the bench. Whether that was banter or arguments, whatever. I've
got a picture here of the kung fu kick going in, and it looks vicious.
It does. It's head height, isn't it?
It is head height. That's shocking. That's awful.
I mean, visually, it's impressive if you're the Karate Kid, but if you're a footballer, it's not impressive at all. And listen, I'm really not trying to make light of this, because normally our friendlies we had a little bit of a sort of ruck on Saturday ourselves, but that was dealt with, and it was handbags. So most times when you see a little bit of shenanigans on a football pitch, they are by and large most of the time handbags at dawn.
Yeah.
But this clearly isn't, and what you see happen. Have they mentioned the player, by the way, that's
done
allegedly done it?
No. So it's the Wythenshawe Town number 6 for a start. So whether that
well, he could be a trialist, couldn't he? And they're not likely to name him. I don't know what action the referee's taking. He's obviously... Well, the referee was prepared to play the game, wasn't he? It was Altrincham that weren't prepared to come back out again, which you can understand, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think Adam wanted to come back out.
It's a pre-season game, and there's some karate kicks going on in a pre-season friendly. I get that every game of football is competitive, but for God's sake... this is just pathetic. It really is. And I honestly feel there'll be some serious reprimands from the league, the police, his mum. There'll be a lot going on for whoever this Egypt is.
I remember being at one of the Wythenshaws myself. I can't remember if it was Wythenshaw amateurs as they were previously.
Yeah.
Or Wythenshaw Town, and there was fisticuffs at that particular game when Pascal Chimonda was there. It all took place in the... predominantly in the sort of tunnel by the changing rooms.
Yeah.
And it was quite unsavoury, but
sounds about right.
Was handled. I don't think anybody particularly got any big reprimands, but I think looking at this one,
there will be something.
The Wythy number 6 is going to get a substantial ban for this, I would imagine.
Yes, I think so.
And anything less than... I'd say anything less than a 10-month ban if you... You've got to, haven't you? You've got to say at least a 10-month ban.
Well, given what happened between Kidsgrove and Avra last season, where a lot of them just got 10 games.
Yeah.
Could this be another 10-gamer? Potentially.
Yeah, but flying in with a foot, head height, and if there is video evidence.
True.
And the evidence of the referee as well.
And the evidence of the referee's report as well.
Yeah. We're talking about referees.
Honestly.
So, Berkhamsted, they forgot to book a referee and assistance for the game versus Chesham United on Tuesday night, meaning the KO kickoff was delayed until they grounded replacements up.
I mean, it's the most basic thing that you've got to do when making a game is, have you got a team to play against? Check.
Yeah.
Have you got somebody to officiate the game? Oh, we forgot about that. I mean, for God's...
Shoot the secretary?
Yeah, I would absolutely be pointing the finger of blame at the secretary for this one, because that is daft.
Or send them to Wythy Town.
Or send them to Wythy Town. It's like sending them to prison, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, listen, we'll move on to grassroots playing costs.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Yeah, parents are facing massive increases in fees to simply let their children play. Rising council pitch hire rates reaching up to £120 an hour in regions like the North West, combined with costs for club subscriptions, training gear, travel, leave up to a third of parents struggling to afford participation.
It's disappointing.
It's fundamentally important for so many children, so many families, to allow their kids to go out and play football, and that's been restricted at that moment, in my humble opinion. According to a survey, there's a measurable decline in youth participation, not so much between 4 and 10 year olds, but as they get older and the costs rise, their age groups start to fall away. And listen, parents and children are being arguably priced out of the game, or is it purely down to a decline in interest by older kids? I think it's the aforementioned. I think it's becoming too expensive now, and if you've got a choice between pocket money to go, I don't know, roller discoing or cinema.
The 1980s have come back, have they? Bloody roller disco.
Yeah, well, that's what I used to do back in my day.
Is this where the Human League starts coming on over the CDs?
I was the Wigan roller king.
Of course you were.
Yeah, I was. What I'm saying to you is, you get to an age, don't you, where you want to spend money going to the cinema,
hanging out with your mates,
bowling, hanging out with your mates, drinking, smoking, whatever it is,
or play football,
or play football. And if football is more expensive than if you get priced out of football, and you could have a budget of £60 to £80 a month to be spent on other things, you've got to make decisions, and then you find girls or boys, depending on whether you're a female or male playing football, doesn't really matter.
There are other things what take precedent as you grow up, and it could even be that you just don't even like football, but your parents made you play it just so that you could have a sport to play and have some peers and friends to knock around with on a Tuesday and a Sunday. Ultimately.
So who do we blame?
So I think there's a few different sort of plays of blame here.
We're not going to name names, but we've heard recently of publicity surrounding a particular footballer academy.
They charge an inordinate amount of money just for a player to go and attend a end of season do and pick up a trophy. Allegedly. Yeah.
Well, the overall sort of scene, I think, I don't know what the average is, and, I've tried to reach out and find out what.
When I were a lad, it were 20 quid.
20 quid?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not far off being a lad now, are you? You know what I mean? You're only 30.
Yeah, that we'll keep it at that.
You're 30,
no, we'll keep it at that.
You're 31.
We'll keep it at that.
I'm all day.
No. Anyway, when I was playing football, it was about 20 quid for the year, and that was at like under 11s, and I think it went up to 40 quid for the year under sort of 14s or 15s or something like that. But for that, you got you got your kit, and then you didn't have to pay any subs on the day itself. So 40 quid, and you were all in. All right.
But we do know there's a difference, don't we? Because they're sort of on a scale, aren't they? So you maybe have a bronze, silver and gold package.
Where the gold package for now?
The gold package will be where you get coached by, obviously, coach-led training and match days, but you will get it from professional coaches, allegedly, supposedly. Whereas if you go further down the line, you get coach-led training mainly by parents. And then you have the basic one, which is just parent-led training and match days, which probably remains the most common sort of model for grassroots football.
I mean, we're just getting a bit silly now, aren't we? Yeah. Like when I was in junior football, I think my coach had his FA level 1, and that was it. I think maybe his FA level 2, but nothing more than that. And that were absolutely fine. And then we look at some in the adult game. Steve Scott, manager at Remy, no qualifications, but beaten plenty who have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just don't see why it can't be the same for grassroots football at the same time. I mean, these kids deserve to be able to play football and just have an hour on a Tuesday and 2 hours on a Sunday where they're able to play football with their mates, get a bit competitive, have a bit of a run around or something like that, and it shouldn't cost the earth. Now, back when I was playing, there wasn't really any such thing as 4G pitches, artificial turf pitches, things like that. You know, we had clay on our local multi-use games area. It was a clay surface, and it didn't get relayed as an actual AstroTurf until about 2010, 2011, something like that. So all of my sort of junior football was played on grass, and if it was rained off or snowed off or whatever, you know, you just put it back a week, and that was the norm. You didn't really have to pay for use of these hubs. So I get why it's wholly advantageous to have a hub, but I also get why you know, your grassroots football and your literal grass pitches are going to be you know, still favourable in certain times as well, particularly financially.
Yeah, so listen, we know it's relatively expensive to play because we mentioned that you know, the rising not just so much council pitch hire, but you know, privately as well. So arguably, if you take the gold package and it costs you £55 for the coach-led training, and
that's £55 per month.
That's your £55 per month, and that is for 1 day. So if you're playing Saturdays and Sundays, that's £110 per child. So if you've got 2 children, that's £220. That to me sounds quite extortionate.
Yeah, of course it does. £210 for 2 kids to play.
So even the other package, the sort of bronze package would be £35. I mean, we're taking this as an average. This is what we've sort of been led to believe is an average in the area. So if you just went for a parent-led training session and 1 game a week on a Saturday, it cost you £35. If you wanted to do 2, it cost you £70. If you had 2 children, it cost you £140. Still a hell of a lot of money.
That's a hell of a lot of money, and who has that in this climate?
I know from a sort of private perspective, if you're running a business like that, then that's, you know, it's fair enough. You need to make a profit. You need to make a decent living. I understand that, but is there a line you cross between comfortable and greed?
Yeah, and I think having professional coaches, I get that having a qualification in order to
what's their minimum professional qualification here now we're talking about? We're not talking about... We're talking about something that anybody can pass.
Yeah, your FA1 probably.
Yeah,
your FA1.
I'd love to know. Listen,
and that doesn't cost that much. It's not like a £2,000 course. I don't think you start paying that until you get to kind of your UEFA badges there. So for an actual FA qualification, it's maybe a couple of hundred.
And that would be all you would be required to do. It depends which, you know, if you want a fully fledged professional coach, I don't know.
The FA Level 1 coaching course costs between £100 and £160, depending on your local FA. This price usually includes mandatory safeguarding and first aid modules as well. Okay, so that's £160 to get your FA Level 1 to be able to coach children. All right, now I get that in coaching children, there's probably like a few more logistical qualifications that you need, such as safeguarding and such as communication and stuff like that.
And if you're an academy, you're running an academy and you're hiring coaches, then you've got to pay them.
Yeah.
But then if you've got like 30 kids in your class or 25, 20 in your class paying, you know, that amount of money...
Oh God! You'd want to just pay.
Well, you're only paying 1 or 2 coaches between. I don't know what their ratio would be. No. Is it 1 to 10, 1 to 20?
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably say about 1 to 10, maybe 1 to 15. Like when you get to the elder stages, when they start playing, you know, 9, 10, 11 aside. You know, like I say, when I was growing up, like we used to have about 12 or 13 players in training and just 2 coaches, a manager and an assistant. That's it. All right, and we didn't pay for training. We didn't pay any subs when we went to training. All right, we just paid one upfront fee for the season, and that was it. There's no need for this kind of monthly subscription, multi-tiered packages that come into place, unless you are genuinely of the belief that your kid could make it to the professional level or even high-end semi-professional. If you're just wanting your kid to just play football and just have a nice time with his mates, no need to be making parents pay this kind of money. No need whatsoever, because this is how they end up getting turned away from sports, and this is how they end up becoming involved in hobbies that are riskier, dangerous, even illegal. No need for it.
We mentioned at the top of the subject there, rising council pitch high rates.
Yeah.
We know that locally that the cost of playing at the JMO is increased substantially for new customers.
Yeah.
That you have to take into account what that costs and entails. But we don't have council run pitches, not plastic, artificial pitches. If we did, it'd be a hell of a lot lower, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course it would. Now,
there's no alternative. This is the point I'm going to make. There's no alternative when you've got a private run organisation, a monopolisation of junior football. There is nowhere else for anybody to go.
No,
there's a few of them.
Well, yeah, but you have to travel out of town.
The small bands, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And then they have to fight for their places and slots on these various plots of land.
Exactly.
It's about time, isn't it? When you look at Glenbeigh, you think to yourself, if there's any potential for putting one pitch there, can you put 2 or 3 there? Smaller pitches, a 9-a-side, a couple of 7-a-sides and 6-a-sides. Yeah. Can you incorporate that in a new build? Yeah. Because it could be run as a proper community hub with prices at reasonable rates. Yeah. And that's the only way. Well, if we're asking the question, do we believe that kids are walking away from football, which I believe they genuinely are, because the parents can't afford it or they're putting them off, then I say it's about time we found a way of stopping the monopolisation of junior football in West Lancashire.
I think we have a plan.
Yeah, brilliant. Listen, no doubt there'll be some people that will have varying opinions to that.
All we have is opinions as well.
We'll accept that. If anybody wants to come on the show and discuss it further, we're more than happy to do that. Yeah. Listen, I know there's 1 or 2 whistleblowers in the ranks that sort of in the sidelines that want to come on the show, but they've been a little bit cautious at the moment. But anybody wants to give their opinion and maybe give it your opinion from your perspective from a private
from an enterprise
private enterprise point of view. Anyway, listen, moving over to quickly gloss over the friendly results of the weekend.
Absolutely. So
go on then, do you want to go with that?
Well, we'll leave us off until last, because we do that with Skem, don't we? Alright, so Abbey Hay played Hyde United and won 3-0. So that's a great result for Abbey Hay against Cleggie's Hyde United. Now I wonder how you've got to wonder what kind of starting 11s they had out. Really, I mean that could have just been Hyde United's under 23s or a mixture of trialists and regulars. You never know. All right, but that is
can't judge too much, can you?
No, of course not. You can't judge much on these fixtures at all. It's a good warm-up for them and, maybe gives them a starting point as to who's going to be in the squad. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, given the difficulties that Abbey Hay faced towards the end of last season, on the pitch, that's a really good result for them. And I'm sure that they'll take that with a lot of good confidence regardless of who played for Hyde United on that pitch.
Yeah, we mentioned Atherton LR. They drew to Southport on Saturday, 1-1. Really decent draw for them.
Yep.
I don't know what the gate was, but given the sunshine and the occasion, I would imagine there were a few people on there.
200-300, something like that. Yeah. Droylsden were defeated 3-2 by Avro. Burscough played 2 games on across the weekend. They played FC Bootle, not to be confused with Bootle. Burscough played FC Bootle of the West Cheshire League and drew 1-1. They then played Prescot Cables and won 2-0. Positive results across the men in green there. Bury also played back-to-back games. They drew 2-2 with Clitheroe, has been previously mentioned. They then beat Andy Priest's Chorley 2-1. Victoria Park, good outing for the Shakers as they warm up for their season in the Northern Premier League. So Darwin beat Padiham by 2-1. Exton versus Daisy Hill was a 1-1 draw at the Jim Fowler Memorial. We've already talked about FC St Helens and Ashton Town playing out a 10-goal thriller. Garstang were edged out by Ramsbottom United by 3-2 over in Fylde. Halewood Apollo drew 1-1 with Stockport County.
Mentions Halewood Apollo. Do you think that they could be a dark horse? A bit like MSB Wilton. MSB Wilton did really well, didn't they?
MSB Wilton did do really well in their first season.
I've got a feeling about Halewood. Got a good feeling about them. I like them. I like the people that run them.
Yeah, I mean the structure of it's great. You know, the ground and what have you. When we've played them, we came away from each of those games thinking that the results could have been miles different than what they were. So I ain't sold on Apollo just yet. No. Clanwilhin, they lost to Glossop North End 5-0. Lower Brecon MSB Walton, which we talked about on the show last week, that went 3-1 in Lower Breck's favour. Macclesfield beat Cheadletown 4-0. Maghull beat South Liverpool by 4-2. Marine against Blackburn Rovers was a 1-1 draw. New Mills and West Didsbury was a 4-4 draw. Northallerton versus Prestwich.
Mosley, aren't they?
All right, Mosley beat Radcliffe 1-0. Northallerton versus Prestwich Hayes was 1-0 to Northallerton. Runcorn Linnets lost 4-0 to FC United of Manchester. Runcorn Town beat Barton 1-0. Stalybridge defeated Uppermill by 3-0. Trafford beat Flixton by 3-1. It's a very good result for Trafford, given Flixton's social media presence and big squad building. And then Widnes Town lost 4-0 to Warrington Town.
Looking at Flixton, can we gauge anything by those defeats?
Not at the minute. I think Flixton are still finding their squad, aren't they? We know of the calibre of some of the players that they have got, but I still think that they are far from being the finished article yet. I think Trafford, obviously still going to be a bit of a rebuild themselves after having come down from the Northern Premier League West.
We don't even know whether they've got bounce back ability, do we?
No. I mean, having bounce back ability is rare, as we've always talked about.
It's that rare that when Wythenshawe bounced back up, it was the first time a team had bounced back up since 1999.
Whoa! At this level?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
At North West Counties prep. Yeah.
That's stunning.
I think so.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Fair enough. Now then, the Isle of Man Summer Festival of Football is this weekend, beginning on Friday night when Radcliffe play Shrewsbury Town at 3:30 in the afternoon. And then that's followed up by Bury versus FC Isle of Man at 7:30 in the evening. I think both of those games take place at the Bowl, don't they?
It's not called the Bowl now, is it? It's called something else.
If you say so. It's the national ground.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, the third place playoff is at 11 o'clock in the morning, with the final to be taking place at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we had much a similar structure 2 weekends ago when we played in the West Lancashire Charity Cup. And it's the same structure here this time around between 4 excellent teams there.
I'd love to be there at the weekend.
Of course you would.
Oh, I just love the Isle of Man.
Yeah, I've never been. So, maybe Isle of Man Summer Festival 2027. Maybe we get an invite. Maybe we end up going over there.
Yeah, I think this in Southport went last year, didn't they?
All right, so they've got some big teams out there. They've obviously got Shrewsbury Town. They've got Bury, Radcliffe and the Isle of Man. So, yeah, some good teams there. Good team.
Yeah.
Good team.
Looking at the fixtures, starting on Friday night, apart from the Alaman Summer Festival of Football. So on Friday night, Longridge entertain Clitheroe at 7:30. Lower Breck versus Widnes Town. I'm not too sure what time that is because I don't think it came through. But Saturday, AFC Knowsley versus Litherland Remica. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff. Avro versus Lower Breck. So Lower Breck doing a double header there. They're kicking off at 3 o'clock. Bamber Bridge versus Morecambe, 3 o'clock. Charnock versus Lancaster, 3 o'clock. Daisy Hill versus Bolton Wanderers B team. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff as well. Exton Villa versus... It's not called Exton Villa anymore, is it? But Exton versus Ashton United.
Are they just called Exton now?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not too sure. Okay. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff anyway. FC United versus Salford. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff. That is probably... that's probably the friendly of the...
friendly of the day, isn't it? It's the big
friendly of the day in the Northwest. That without a shadow of a doubt, that should be a great game. If I was looking for a friendly on Saturday, and I could go to it, that would probably be the one that I was going to attend. Hesketh Bank versus Bearscough, 3 o'clock. Padiham versus Flixton, 2 o'clock kickoff. Runcorn Linnets versus Whitton Albion, 3 o'clock. Stalybridge versus Hyde, 3 o'clock. Trafford versus Warrington Rylands, 3 o'clock. Winstanley Warriors versus Widnes Town. Not too sure what time that is, but have a look up on the social media and see what you can come up with on that one.
Yep.
So anything to say on those friendlies?
Some good friendlies there. I'd pay particular attention to Padiham versus Flixton. Again, I think Flixton we're putting them under the spotlight here, considering how, the noise that they're making about, coming back into semi-professional football after all these years. And I wonder whether we've set them a bit of a ceiling that they need that we're expecting them to attain and to achieve. I mean, we both put them as winning the Division 1 North this season. So, yeah, I think to play against quite a strong Padiham team as well, I have to wonder whether this is kind of their first real test of their title credentials. I know it's a friendly, so I know that there'll be a bit of a mix. But there comes a point where you're taking your friendlies seriously, aren't you? Yeah. And you start to iron out your squad and who you're expecting to start within that squad Saturday after Saturday. Considering Padiham have now just achieved Northern Prem status as well. Good test for them to see how they get on against Flixton. So yeah, that's a good little fixture to be looking at as well. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how Winstanley versus Widnes comes about, particularly because of the placement of both teams. So Winstanley Warriors are in they're in the Cheshire League, aren't they?
Yeah, First Division.
Cheshire First Division. All right, they've got a ground that is eligible for county's usage.
Yeah, it's not far off. Yeah,
it's really not far off. No, so they have all the increments there to be able to make a real go of it. Now, Widnes, obviously, we've talked about, the struggles that they had in putting together a team against Droylsden, but they still came out with a 2-2 draw. So, this one will kind of test the credentials of both, really, just to see how well they do, when matched up with, when Winstanley's point of view, you're matching up against a counties level team. And from Widnes' own point of view, you want to see how well your own squad building has developed and how well and how cohesive it is. Everything to play for there, even if it is just friendly.
Should we move on to our favourite club, Skelmersdale United?
Oh, them lot. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So we managed a 2-1 win on Saturday against Poulton.
Woo!
Yeah. So, as described by Barney, he said that you can write off the last weekend, the festival of football. Our real friendlies started on Saturday. I think that's fair to say because we had a few injuries, holidays, and work-committed situations that meant that we were sort of quite low on numbers over the weekend. I'm playing back-to-back games as well presented a few issues.
Of course it did.
So, as Barney put it, he was the proud as punch. It was his first ever win as a Skelmersdale United Football Club manager.
Well, it was his second. So, if you remember, Barney actually took the team for one game between Nick being sacked and Andy Barlow coming in as manager, which was a cup game against FC Kirby, and we won on penalties.
Oh, I thought Nick was still there.
No, Barney was there because I interviewed him instead. And you know, he was really enthusiastic about it, and it was Bob Check's first game.
He wasn't the manager; he was assistant.
He was the interim manager for one game.
Well, listen, you ask him the question.
We will
say to you that he was proud as punch,
of course,
to have got that first victory. And listen, I've said it in an article that I put out today. It was, you know, it's like winning the World Cup to me. You know, I know a bit melodramatic, but it was a really good win, and even more so because we came from behind and we managed to score with 2 minutes to go.
Basically,
really, really hot conditions as well. There was a lot of plus moments from the game. Really. Enjoyable game from both perspectives. I think Pilton played very well, decent team. It was a good game of football considering the conditions. We did an awful lot of rotation because of the heat. So we didn't have any consistency. I'd say that Pilton probably recycled the ball better than we did until maybe the final third of the game, and then when we put Sue up front, I think that so much shocked them, but it gave us that little bit more of an edge, and we managed to sneak the win.
Outstanding.
What was really good about the occasion, and like I said, mentioned it in the article, was the way everybody pitched in before the game, putting the nets up, because you go to Richmond Park, you've got to put the posts up, the nets up, and everything. I nearly killed myself taking one down. James let his end slip. The funniest part about it is, your Apple Watch triggers off when you've had a trauma.
Yes.
Yeah. So James has not had a grip of it, and I've tried to balance it, and it's literally hit me, and I've taken the impact. And as you know,
you do not.
I'm only one hit away from being paralysed. So anyway, why did you do that, James? And then there was like a 5 second delay where James turned around and said, I didn't know. And then he cried, he screamed, he rolled on the floor, and he said, I think I broke my finger. So he went from arguing with me to rolling around on the floor. And then when he got up off the floor, he went like this with his hand. He went like that. And I said, James, that can't be a broken finger, that. I said, and that was more delayed than a bloody satellite conversation with the Russian astronauts. So anyway, so he feigned injury. But listen, the point I was trying to make anyway, everybody mucked in. Barney. When I turned up just a few minutes before, Craig had turned up, and he was actually lugging the goalposts on his shoulder. Everybody from anybody that was there, the players, they put the advertising hoardings up. They helped put the goalposts up, as they did help take them all down as well. Really proud of that group of people, because they're fantastic. And Derek Hunt still putting the kit up and take the kit down as well at 85 years of age. And I was a bit worried about Derek on Saturday, to be fair, because he was struggling with the heat. And he had to sit down behind the dugout, because that was the only bit of shade, because it's wide open.
It's very exposed there.
There was people on the opposite side that were either standing up under an oak tree or a yew tree, and they were getting a bit of shade there. But basically, Derek was sitting on top of the referees, the officials. What you call them? Icebox.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was sat on top of that, and then when they were taking the water breaks, they had to tell him to move, but they let him sit back on it.
Honestly, I think we need to start lugging a gazebo there as well. Yeah, like just one with a little roof.
Listen, before we know it, we'll be playing football. We'll be playing week in, week out, won't we?
Yeah.
And things will change, but yeah. So really, as well as the win, on top of the win, that was really, really great.
Yeah.
But knowing that the way everybody had pitched in to help was admirable.
That's
really.
That's proper squad ethic, that one, isn't it? That's when you know you've got some good togetherness about it.
Yeah. And then England won later, of course, but they dragged us through the hedge backwards, didn't they? When they
they just made a whole drama out of it, didn't they?
Yeah,
as England tend to do.
Yeah, so good win. Some great positives. A few things that we can work on. Training is going really well. Josh Yell was back on Tuesday.
Outstanding.
So, it was funny really, because I arrived first with James and with all the equipment, getting all the equipment out and what have you. And as soon as they seen Josh coming towards them, the heads went, "Oh my God, he's here!" Oh no, they knew they were going to get a tough.
They were going to get a bee sting.
Yeah.
Josh Yell, one of the best in the business for it.
Yeah, listen, he's a fantastic bloke. And it was so nice to see him back. And the players really, really love him.
Yeah, of course they do.
As they do Barney. Listen, we're missing Andy Barlow. There's absolutely no doubt about that.
Yeah, he's got some. Barney knows that he has some shoes to fill there.
Yeah, so it was a really good session on Tuesday night at Tower Hill.
Yeah.
Everybody put a shift in, a couple of newcomers there.
Yeah.
One that we'll probably have till the end of August and another that more long term. We've got a few more available to us on Thursday, returning from holiday and injury, and available because work is permits them to do so.
Of course.
So it's all
looking a bit positive, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen, I say there's always somebody there that's going to piddle on your chips at the end of the day. But it's work in progress, and I say it time and time again. We've retained a core group of players, which we haven't done for several years now, and that should bode well moving forward. And I was even talking to one of the players' granddads on Tuesday night, and he was feeling quite upbeat about it as well.
Good.
And that's the first time I've seen that, that sort of positivity from him. And of course, people that were there on the day when we played Poulton, they went away feeling happy for a change.
Yeah, because we got the win. It really does feel like a bit of a World Cup win in that moment, doesn't it?
Most it certainly does. So listen.
So we are hoping to be playing on Saturday.
Yes, we've got to mention Saturday.
Yeah, so this coming Saturday we have a friendly scheduled against Shawbury United. That is an away day trip down to Shropshire, which I am really looking forward to if it goes ahead. All right, so we've had some discussion with the team, and they've advised that the pitch is quite warm and quite hard. All right, so they're looking for alternative solutions to a different pitch so that we can play the game and maintain safety. We've not had any kind of further information from them as yet, but we're hoping to have some kind of confirmation to it before the end of the week.
And of course, we'll update you on social media.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be a change of address. We know that for certain.
Do we know that for certain now?
Well, I think we know it's not going to be played on their home ground.
Right. Okay.
So that they are seeking an alternative venue.
Yeah. So that's a 1 o'clock kick-off
as we speak. Yeah.
As we speak, yeah. And then obviously we've got further friendly fixtures against.
That friendly time could change as well, because if they find the alternative venue, it might be down to time, and it might be on a plastic pitch somewhere.
Fine, okay, so we have a game. We might have a game against Shawbury United. It might be played at 1 o'clock. It might be against Shawbury, and it might be somewhere within the district of Shrewsbury, but we can't tell you that for certain. So just keep an eye on the socials, and we'll let you know as soon as we can.
Yeah, and listen, if it all falls through, it sort of dovetails very well into our next sort of slot. It's Britain's rudest sounding football clubs and place names. So if it all falls through, we could end up playing Shitterton.
No.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So this is an article that I read some time ago and revisited. It's Britain's rudest sounding football clubs and place names, which does cause plenty of laughter, as you've seen from AJ there. They blew the.
So they're called Shitterton.
Shitterton. Yeah.
I really hope their chant is up the shitter.
Yeah. So I don't know where to go with this one, because there's so much
up the shitter.
Yeah. There's Bishop's Itchington. There's Licky End Social FC.
Ew.
Bonar Bridge. That's a Scottish football club in the town of Bonar Bridge in the Scottish Highlands. Now, the reason that I brought this to you is because every time we mention the football club Cockfosters, AJ can't help himself but laugh. So I thought, well, listen, let's go further than that. So Cockermouth, listen, we've heard of that one.
I've heard of that one.
People don't sort of get too worried about that. There's Cockfield FC, Cockfosters, as we just mentioned, Feltham, yes I did, Knutsford, Peover, Penistone Church. I don't know whether it's pronounced that way.
No, it's Penistone. It's Penistone.
People still call it Penistone.
They're in Barnsley area, I think.
Barnsley?
Good team.
Which is not far from you, is it? Yeah, Barnsley. Yep. Barnsley, Northern Counties East League Premier Division.
There you go.
Ramsbottom, everybody's heard of Ramsbottom United.
Yep.
Slip End United. Staines Town.
Oops.
Wide Open.
Staines Town clean up. Wide Open shut down.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Undy AFC. So that is a Welsh club based in the village of Undy, Monmouthshire. The club plays in the Kinroos South League.
Yep.
Scunthorpe United. I don't know why that.
Yeah.
I
Because that word is in there.
Yeah.
That word.
Yeah. Scunthorpe. Right. Anyway, Coxo Athletic, Kilcock Celtic.
These are all just Scottish.
Now, rude, weird, funny UK place names. So this is not football clubs, I would imagine.
These are just villages.
Acox Green, Babes Well, Bachelor's Bump, Backside Lane, Bulls Green, Bulls Cross, Bear Leg Hill. You're barking up the wrong leg there. Barking, sorry. Beaver Close. Bedlam Bottom, Beef Lane. Now, a place that I've been to actually in Devon is actually called Beer, a town called Beer. I've actually been there on the coast.
Okay.
Beggar's Bush.
Okay.
Sussex past Hair Prime. Oh, I don't know what that means, but Bell End near. Well, yeah, get this one though. Bell End near Licky End. Oh. Bishop's Itchington, which is Staffordshire. Yep. Bitchfield in Lincolnshire. Boggy Bottom, Abbots Langley, Hertfordshire. Booty Lane, North Yorkshire. Bottoms Fold, Broad Bottom. Brown Willie. Bushy Gap in Northumberland. Catholes.
Okay. Alright.
Catscore. Charles Bottom. Clap Hill. Clay Bottom. Cock Alley. Cock Bridge. Cock Green. Cock Lane. Cock Law. Cock and Bell Lane. Could be mentioned Cockermouth. Cock and Hoe. Cock Intake. Cockpit Hill. Cock Play. Cocks in Cornwall. Cock Shoot Close in Oxfordshire. Cock Shot. Cock Shutwood. Cock Up Lake District. Cold Wind. Crackington Haven. Crackpot Crapstone. Crotch Crescent. Dean's Bottom. Devil's Lapful, Dick's Mount, Drinkstone, Faggot, Fanny Barks, Fanny Avenue, Fanny Hands Lane, Feltham Close, Feltwell, Fingering Hoe,
oh my God,
Flesh Shank, Friars Entry, Fruitful Cove, Fudge Pack upon Honker, Gay Street, Gays Hill, Giggleswick, Golden Balls, Gravelly Bottom Road, Great Cockup and Little Cockup, they're hills in the Lake District, as we know. Great Horwood, Great Tosson, Grope Lane. You know, it's always handy if you want to go for a bit of sort of a bit of exercise. Yeah, where did they go with that? So Grope Lane, Hampton Gay, Happy Bottom. Yeah, always when when you've been constipated and you manage to go to the toilet,
just clear it all out there.
You've got a happy bottom then, haven't you?
No.
Hellstone, whole bottom, whole of Horcombe, oh bloody hell. These are proper places. It's only what was on the... I didn't name this.
Probably need to quit while we're ahead here. We'll never get through it.
Hollybush, Honey Knob Hill, Honeypot Lane, Hooker Road, Horncastle, Horny Man, Horny Old Road, Horwood, Jeffrey's Passage, Johnny's Bottom, Jugs Close, Knockerdown, Laycock, Letchfield Lane, Letch Lane, Licker Moor, Lickers Lane, Licky End, Lickfold. You know what? There's millions of them.
There are.
Listen, Scratchy Bottom, Sandy Balls, Prick Willow, Pratt's Bottom. I like the name Piddle River. I think that's quite a nice one there. Over P Over. Now I've been through Over P Over.
Oh.
I've said Scratchy Bottom. There's Shittington. 6 Mile Bottom. Slag Lane.
Slag Lane is in
Merseyside somewhere.
No, it's I'll tell you where it is. Just past Goldbourne. Lowton.
Oh, right.
Slag Lane is in Lowton.
Oh, right. There's one in Merseyside as well. Snatch Up. Spanker Lane. Whoa. Yeah. Swell. The Blind Fiddler, The Bush, The Knob, Thong, Tinkerbush Lane, Titcombe, Titlington Mount, Titty Hill, Titty Ho, Turkey Cock Lane. I'm just going to finish it off with twat. you know. Yeah, there's a picture of twat here as well. And you know what? Yeah, and listen, I'll have to go for one further. There's an ugly in Essex, so there's an ugly twat. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Anyway, listen, there's millions of them.
Yep.
And I'm listening. I can't go through it. There's one called the Bastard, a mountain in Scotland. But they're all bastards, aren't they? When they're tough, yeah, to go up. Fannyfield and East Brest and Dick Court. Now listen, Jesus. There's loads of them, but yeah, there's a little bit of a funny one. Obviously, most of them are just places. Yep. A few of them are football clubs, of course, that we started off with. But did you enjoy that bit?
Yep.
Yeah. So listen, before we finish the show, what have you learned this week?
Britain is full of dirty-minded bastards.
Yeah, but you know what? You can actually use words without actually swearing and being repulsive because they actually exist.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, like ugly twat. You can, there's a place called Ugly in Essex, and there's a twat in Orkney.
There's a few of them.
There's a few of them in there.
So what I've learned is that in order you can make yourself appear incredibly professional as a football club by doing loads of stuff off the pitch connected to social media. I think FC St Helens are one of the prime examples that we use, but there's plenty of them where they just use social media as such a huge outlet for growing their fan base, growing their engagement, growing quite honestly. And so fair play to the media team over at FC St Helens for providing a bit of a benchmark on how to do it.
Definitely, I totally agree with you. Mine sort of is the Wythy Town Altrincham game, and just in that moment of pure temper, frustration, whatever's made that number 6 lash out and do a Cantona Kung Fu style kick. I'm sure he's regretting it as we're speaking now, but it's just I think my motto in life is just think before you lash out. That could be really, really severe for him. It could have ended up in a really, really bad injury. It could have hurt someone, could have killed someone. People have been killed with kung fu kicks before. Yeah, if anybody learns anything from this and going into the season and what pre-season friendlies are remaining, if you've got anger issues, get them sorted out before you start playing football again. And think twice before you make that ultimate mistake that could wreck your career forever. And there could be people out there that have got potential. This could have been a young lad that's just starting out in football that could be playing your league football. We've had players that have, progressed from Skem, gone on and played in the Premier League, like Craig Noon. If Craig Noon had done something that while he was playing for Chesham United, he'd never have been. Listen, he was never that kind of character anyway. But think long and hard before you make them life defining moments, career defining moments.
It just isn't worth it.
No, it isn't. Well, listen, I'll leave the final words to the dulcet tones of AJ Vegette.
You've been listening to the Speaking Frankly Football Show with me, AJ Vegette, and my co-host, Mr. Frank Hughes. This podcast is available on streaming services wherever you get your podcasts, including Spotify and Amazon Music. Please rate and review, as we do thrive off hearing your feedback. Please also subscribe so that you can find out firsthand when a new episode of the show has been released. We're also available on social media sites, most prevalently Facebook and X, under the banner Speaking Frankly Football Show. And so from myself and Frank, thank you very, very much for tuning into this episode of the show, and we'll hope to see you again next week. Until then, a very goodbye for now.